Mr. Michael Walsh is with us on the program. Michael, how you doing, sir?
Hey, Cameron, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for joining us on the program tonight.
My pleasure, as usual.
You've got your latest piece here, Holder's Last Days. And, you know, I would say, Michael, even 2 weeks ago, that column would have been premature. But now you really can't help but wonder. Eric Holder today telling Representative Issa, look, I'll meet with you one-on-one. We can have a briefing. I'll turn over some of the documents you've been asking for. I mean, it really looks like the Attorney General is trying to play let's make a deal here in advance of next week's scheduled vote for contempt of Congress.
Yeah, he is. He's in a box canyon, as I said this morning in the Post, and so now he's like a guy that they finally run to ground, and he's saying we need to deal on this subject.
Yeah. However, you know, Representative Issa, it looks like, is in the driver's seat here. You know, I know that the Attorney General has said, I'll meet with you. We can talk about this stuff. We think we can give you what you want. But bottom line is this subpoena's been out there since last October. Why is it that the Attorney General was just now coming to the table and saying, all right, let's see what we can agree on here?
Well, it's because they really do mean to cite him for contempt of Congress next week. And, you know, now that it's, what did Ben Franklin say? The prospect of being hanged in the morning concentrates the mind.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's focused, and he knows that he can't get away with this, really what has been contemptuous behavior all along. And I'm glad to see that Representative Issa has called him on it because, you know, whatever side of the political divide you're on, Congress does have the right to oversee this stuff. The Justice Department is not a fiefdom that's not answerable in some way to the other branches of the government.
Absolutely. Now, you say that Holder's time is running out for many reasons. He's been too partisan and too politicized for too long. We have had people this week like Senator Orrin Hatch, Senator John Cornyn, Representative Steve King, all come out and say that it is time for Eric Holder to resign. You know, Michael, what kind of pressure is the Attorney General under? What kind of pressure is he under right now in Washington, D.C.?
Well, there's been 125, I think the last figure is, of elected officials who have asked for his resignation. At some point, that becomes a critical mass, and a senator like Cornyn, who's a very big player in the Republican establishment, you know, when he calls for the Attorney General to resign, then I think people start to pay attention. It's not just some backbencher in the House anymore. It's one of the major players in the Republican Party, and of course, partly this is pressuring Obama as well, because Holder, as I pointed out today, is involved in a lot of other very unpopular things. I mean, there's the leak investigation into the stories that ran in the New York Times. There's the suit against Florida for its voter rolls. There's the suit against Texas. They suit against Arizona for sure for SB 1070. He's involved in an awful lot of stuff that's making him very, very unpopular. And I think he's an easier target now than he was 2 weeks ago or a month ago, that's for sure.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. And again, I think that's of his own doing here. You know, the Attorney General has had 2 appearances before the House Judiciary Committee and the Senate Judiciary Committee over the past couple of weeks in which to, you know, make his case in a way that he hasn't. And really, I mean, the Attorney General had just kind of doubled down.
Well, yeah, he won't make the case because there is no case to make. I mean, my colleague and friend Andy McCarthy had a good post about this over at the Corner on National Review Online, either this morning or late yesterday, I forget which, saying, you know, we really shouldn't be surprised at Holder because we've seen this from him before when he was the number 2 guy in the Clinton Justice Department. And remember, he was also the guy behind the Mark Rich pardon.
Right.
He's a very unpopular guy with people who have worked in the Justice Department under a different administration. And they have a very low opinion of him. And you get to see this on display whenever he appears in front of either the Grassley, the Senate Judiciary Committee, or the House Committee, where he just is not going to answer the question, period. Clearly, he thinks he's protected by his boss, which he is.
Mm-hmm.
But as I suggested at the end of the column today, you know, when he becomes a liability, there's still plenty of room under that Obama bus, as we know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, listen, Michael, glad you could join us on the program tonight, sir. Thank you so much. And maybe we can touch base again next week as we see what happens with the contempt charges.
Yeah, well, that will be Wednesday. So if he hasn't worked out a deal with them before then, they'll vote those charges out of the committee, and I'll be on the case, Cam. So I'll be happy to talk to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Michael. Have a great weekend, sir.
Okay, you too.